We're now getting some more breaking news on the broadcast. Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi has conducted his first press briefing after taking charge and stressed upon the Indian Army's readiness to address any situation along the sensitive line of actual control in eastern Ladakh, also in Pakistan, Manipur and the northern border. This discussion was in fact about the situation along the northern borders. Also, General Dwivedi has said in that press briefing, and I'm quoting from that statement of his, the situation is sensitive but stable. He's also said that about 60% of tourists killed in Jammu and Kashmir last year were of Pakistani origin.
Situation is firmly under control. On line of control, ceasefire, which is effective from Feb 2021 after the DGMO's understanding, is holding on. However, the terror infrastructure across remains intact. Infiltration attempts continue, including from the IB sector or so many other avenues which are available, along with drone attempts to smuggle warlike stores and narcotics. In hinterland, in recent months, increased terrorist activities was seen in North Kashmir and Doda-Kishtwar belt. Our CT grid there has been reinvigorated and tempo of kinetic ops has been enhanced. Past year, 60% of terrorists eliminated were of Pakistan origin. As of today, whatever is remnant in the valley and Jammu area, we feel that around 80% or more are from Pakistan origin. Stable but sensitive, point number one. So, what does it mean? That there have been a series of meetings. Firstly, among the ministers, even the Prime Minister has met the Chinese head. Similarly, the meetings have taken place at the level of the Corps Commander. As you are aware, the 22nd SHMCL took place on 21st October, which finished. Thereafter, 5th December, we had the WMCC. Then 18th December, we had the Special Representatives meeting. Now, coming on to the Depsang and Demchok. As you are aware, April 20 onwards, that both sides had moved forward and stopped the other side from going to the traditional areas where they were carrying out the patrolling. So, what has happened in this disengagement, that both sides have agreed to go back to the areas where both sides feel, okay, this is where we used to come for the traditional patrolling. So that has been agreed upon and both sides have fell back.
Let me take this across to my colleague Akash Sharma, who's with us on the broadcast now. Akash, General Dwivedi really touching upon some of the key aspects. Let's begin with the eastern Ladakh region, line of actual control. He's specifically talking about the disengagement in Depsan and Demchok, and that becomes a very important statement coming in from the Army Chief himself.
Yes, as far as line of actual control is concerned and as far as the eastern Ladakh area is concerned, Greha, you see, we know that, some sort of understanding has happened between the two countries as far as Depsang and Demchok areas are concerned. Army Chief mentioned it categorically that as far as standoff is concerned, so there is still a sort of standoff between the two countries. Also, he said that as far as, reducing the number of troops on that particular point and in that particular area is concerned. So, both the countries will discuss it together, will sit together, and it will happen, if it will happen, in summers only. We know the kind of conditions we have in eastern Ladakh area, specifically at several points where, after Galwan clash, we had escalation and in fact a standoff. We know that how at 5 points in Depsang and at 2 points in Demchok, we have an understanding where, patrolling has been resumed. In fact, both the sides have cross-verified the claims that were made that we have, removed the structure. So it has happened in the areas, but Army Chief says that the situation remains peaceful. It is stable, but again, it's a sensitive place. It's a sensitive border.
Absolutely. And also, Akash, the Army Chief was going on to mention about how 60% of the terrorists who've been killed in Jammu and Kashmir alone are that of Pakistani origin. That also remains a very important statement there by him.
Yes, and concerning part is, and he mentioned it categorically, that as far as south of Pir Panjal area is concerned, the Jammu area, so 80% of the terrorists were from Pakistan origin. We know that infiltration, attempts have been happening. We know that how Indian Army and in fact troops are very much there, to foil any sort of these attempts. But then, experts say that when we are talking about, foiling these attempts, it means that if we are foiling 9 attempts, at least one is getting successful. And this is the reason why we are today discussing about the terrorists, coming from Pakistan and carrying out activities in Jammu and Kashmir. Army Chief also mentioned that since we have increased our deployment in South Jammu area specifically, the activities are increasing in North Kashmir, in fact, in areas like Kishtwar, and in fact in North Kashmir area where infiltration attempts are happening, and also as far as a few months are concerned, so we have seen an intensified effort to destabilize the region. But yes, we have deployment from Indian Army and also the paramilitary forces that are foiling every sort of attempt.
Absolutely, Akash. Thank you so much for all of those details. An important press briefing by Army Chief himself, General Dwivedi. We leave it at that. We are going into a very short break, coming right back with lots more.